By number 15 UFC strawweight Mackenzie Dern. Mackenzie, thank you very much for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Our first question will go to Gabriel Gonzalez with Cageside Press.
Okay.
Hey, Mackenzie, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very good, thank you.
Yeah.
So you had said that before that the UFC, you had reached a point where they were telling you, we'll call you, and you wanted to go back to being more active, where they were, they're kind of looking for you to fight all the time. This is a nice turnaround. Would you say you are finally back to that point?
Yeah, I mean, after my last fight with Hannah, on the adrenaline after the fight, I said like, man, I'm ready to fight. Put me back as soon as possible. And then they called me like, hey, we have Randa Marcos for you in 2 weeks. I said like, and then after the adrenaline passed, I said, oh man, 2 weeks is really, really soon. I start to feel like kind of my hands sore from punching as hard as I could and some of the elbows she had got me with. So I said, oh no, Randa's a tough girl. 2 weeks is kind of soon. Let's a little bit longer. And then they gave me like four months. I said like, man, 4 months is a long time. And then my manager said, no, I think it'll be better for you like to really train and evolve even more. And I mean, that's what managers are for, to help keep calm the athletes, and make the best decisions. So now I couldn't be more happier with having like a full camp, prepare myself, evolve. I felt like I evolved so much in these 4 months, but I started the camp 8 weeks. So 8 weeks training 3 times a day, like really hard, just so focused. And I'm really ready for this fight now.
I know that you've made the jump a little bit. You're working a lot with the team at RVCA, Jason Perillo, Chito Vera, Asa Demopoulos. How have they helped to grow your game?
Yeah, they helped me so much. I went to them halfway through the camp, so 4 weeks, 4 weeks I'm with them, and just in the 4 weeks, everyone I met at the Ruka gym, they all noticed a big difference in the 4 weeks. And people that know me from my first UFC fight, they said like, man, you look so much better. You look just like free. You look like you're so creative. You're so just starting to really show all your true potential. So the fact that I'm hearing this from like, they're friends, of course, but they'll tell the truth, they're not like, sugarcoating anything. I think for sure they know they're fighters too, so no one wants to give like false, false feelings. They're really gonna tell me the truth. So the fact that these people that are seeing me train every day, giving me like new little details and new things to work on. Cheeto, is kicking my butt all the time. It's so fun to see him doing like his crazy moves, and then I'm trying to do these crazy moves. It's like, man, this jiu-jitsu girl's doing all these new styles and new things. It's really, really fun. So I'm really grateful for everything that they taught me in these 4 weeks, and I'm excited for the future that I have with them. And for sure, I mean, every academy I've been to, every coach I've been to, I take something with me, and I'm grateful for them. So I'm just so glad to be kind of on this next phase of my career, and really what the future holds for me with Coach Perillo.
You're known for being one of the most decorated jiu-jitsu players in mixed martial arts, but you've never gotten the submission of the year. You had a great knee bar this year, but do you feel like you have competition? Your teammate Vanessa had the reverse triangle. Ariane Lipsky had a good knee bar. Do you feel like this could be your year where you get that award finally?
Definitely. I definitely think so. Just for me, it was a surprise. My last submission, the leg lock, was the first. Because man, it's something so common for us in jiu-jitsu. So when they told me that that was the first in the world, I said, man, okay, let me go and look at all my submissions that I know to do in jiu-jitsu that are like so common for us, because I'm gonna start letting them out this year, for sure. That's why I definitely want to fight again this year if everything goes good on this fight, no injuries, nothing like that. Because I'm coming for that award, the submission of the year. I just want people like, I know they respect me for sure because my jiu-jitsu background, but I know for sure everyone says like, oh, but when you start throwing punches in there, their black belt becomes the brown belt, and then the brown belt becomes the purple belt. So definitely want people to keep that respect for my ground game and really show why the UFC saw so much potential in me.
My final question, when you're so well known for jiu-jitsu, obviously, the first thing, well, work on your striking so you could be more dangerous. How do you balance that? Because obviously you want to be better as a striker, but you still want your jiu-jitsu to be so sharp because that's where you're the biggest threat.
Yeah, it's a little hard, because when I was competing, that always kept my jiu-jitsu sharp, there's nothing sharper than being competing at the highest level that there is. So since I've been out of the jiu-jitsu competitions, it's kind of a little bit hard to keep my jiu-jitsu um so on point, and everything, and just kind of keep evolving in jiu-jitsu. But I'm always like trying to be involved. My dad is always coming down to California and training with me, and there's nothing there's nothing better than getting beat up by your by your dad. It's what made me get my world titles, was getting beat up by my dad every day on the academy, when I was back in Arizona. So to have my dad back home and he's competing until today, so he's always coming with like some new details and some new positions, and kind of just how jiu-jitsu is constantly evolving, and people are always constantly coming up with defenses and new moves and all these things. He's constantly like reminding me and showing me new things. So I love whenever he's in town with me, and just whenever I get the chance to, if I'm not in the big gloves, whenever I get the chance to do like sparring or training with the small gloves, I'm always like trying to do my ground game, attack the legs, attack the omoplatas, the crucifix, all the omanari, all these types of things. So that's what I love, and I'm always just trying to keep at that.
Hey, thanks, Mackenzie. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll go next to Pablo Santamaria with Noti MMA Ecuador.
Okay.
Hi, Mackenzie. How are you?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola. The first thing I want to ask you, as an Ecuadorian, how it's training with Chito? What did you learn something from him, or?
Oh yeah, for sure. Chiro's, man, he's the guy. He's so great. His family. He's pushing me. I did so many like sparrings with him. Of course, like was more me trying to touch him and get him. He has such good movement. But even like from in the gym, working, he all the time he's telling me like my body shots. He's telling me all these things to get better. And then of course like starting to train with him, we say like, okay, let's go watch his fights when I get home. Then we start to watch his fights, and I'm seeing like now on the training, I'm doing like elbows like him, knees like him. So I'm really like have Cheeto as a good inspiration for me, and just to help push me. I'll be at home and getting close to the camp, and then I see like on Instagram Cheeto's at the gym, and I feel like, man, Cheeto's at the gym. Okay, I need to be at the gym too, because he's number 15 on the ranking too, and helps like push to have another top fighter going after the same dream as you. Um, and help push each other. So if I see he's training, I think like, yeah, okay, I need to be training too. Like, okay, so let me go to the gym, get that. I see him running, okay, let me go run too. Okay, he's doing this, I want to do that too. So it helps push me and try to be the best too. If I can be like the best, like the men's division, then I think that I'll be the best in the women's division too.
I get. Where do you think Randa is more dangerous?
Rand, I think she's the most danger on like her counter attacks on the stand up. I know she's a grappler, but I think it's different levels grappling. For sure, she's smart on the ground, but I definitely think because she's been in so many fights, she has like good to go all 3 rounds. She's fought like she's like got in big fights like where she's getting punched a lot and keep going forward. So I think she really like is good to know her distance and her reach, and I see her movement. She kind of like comes in, does some blitzes, comes out, waits for the counter, and comes back. So I think that's the most part that not that I need to be careful, but that I'll have the most difficulties, like to make sure I keep the pressure, not let her start to get her movement in the fight.
Okay. If you get the victory on Saturday, you would like to face against Amanda Rivas to avenge your loss.
I think I think eventually, yeah, I would like to face her, but not now. I think me and Amanda will definitely fight at the belt. I think that we have so many, especially now that the Corona, people are like fighting so often. So some people are like winning, 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 then lose or lose, and then win. They have so much chance to like change the record really fast right now. And I think Amanda has so much all the potential to get the belt, and I think me too. So I don't know what's ahead of her, who she has for her next fights. I know definitely we both on the ranking, so our future fights are just getting harder and harder and harder. Um, so I don't know if I'll get to the belt before her, or she'll get to the belt before me. But I definitely think that if we have the rematch, will be during the belt, or with me in the belt and she challenging me, or her with the belt and me challenging her.
Okay, I get it. And my last one is, what's your prediction for the fight?
My prediction for the fight, I think that I'm gonna go in there and pressure her so much with the striking and I think I'll hurt her on the striking, and maybe she'll knock down, and I'll get like a really amazing submission and get the fight bonus.
Okay, thank you very much, Mackenzie.
Thank you so much. Gracias.
We'll go next to Jeffrey Harris with 411 Mania MMA.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Mackenzie. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So last year, you experienced the first loss of your MMA career. So what is the emotional state like when you have that first and your comeback and you're able to win your next fight, and sort of, get that rush of emotion again? What is it like, going from, the loss and being able to overcome that for your next fight and get a win?
Yeah, first, like, definitely it sucks to have like that zero taken away from the record, you know? Was so nice and pretty to have that zero there. Definitely like something's changed. Sponsorship wise, I think like kind of some opportunities change a little bit, but the fact like to be able to get back in, I don't know, I feel like I'm a totally different fighter, you know, now I think I have got so much momentum now in just my training, my mindset, everything is so good, and I'm just so much more focused than I ever was. That and I'm hoping that everyone too that follows me, that's kind of seeing that what's happening in my life, they notice that too. It feels great to be able to like get that submission, come back on the winning streak. Of course, was just one, you know. So obviously, this fight I'm trying to continue the winning streak, and now I'm in number 15. So that's where I was when I became pregnant. So I'm kind of like, okay, I'm back to where I left off of, and I'm even like 10 times better. You know, I'm in better shape than when I fought Amanda, in better shape than when I fought Hannah. I'm stronger and I'm leaner. The weight's good, so it feels great. It really feels good to like just kind of be so light. And I think even though it sucks to have that zero, to take away the zero on my record, it took a lot of pressure. You know, not that I felt pressure, but kind of took away all the expectations that I think so many people had. And now I feel like anything that I do, like any submission I'll do, any I don't know, like knockout I get, anything, people are gonna be like always surprised and like, man, what is she gonna show me now? No, no, not like before. It was very much like, oh well, yeah, she has the train, you know, the hype train. Oh, and this and that, you know. So I feel like it took a lot of pressure off the shoulders. And now everything I do is like always to show, improve people, and like surprise them and come up and just kind of be more free to become like the best athlete I can be.
Your opponent for this fight, Randa Marcos, she's fought in the UFC for she's fought and beat a lot of big names. She beat Angela Hill, who was in the fight last week. But her record in the UFC is, I think, 6-7-1. Do you think it's more the opposition that she hasn't been able to be that consistent, uh, or do you think she is maybe a little inconsistent as a fighter?
I'm sorry, what's opposition mean? I don't know that word.
Think it's just she's in there with such tough opposition that she's not able to get like a big win streak together yet?
No, I think Randa, she's such a tough fighter. Like she's been since the beginning. She's gone up the ranks. You know, I think maybe she just accept. You know, she's down for the fight. You know, she accept the fight. I think she fought maybe Amanda a little bit, kind of not last minute, but kind of because Paige got hurt. You know, so I know that she will take any fight. You know, from what I heard when they offered the fight for me with 2 weeks after my last fight, she was good to go. I was the one that said, no, no, I want some more time, you know. So I think she just like is really good she feels good to fight. She's comfortable. She's not scared of anything. So it's good to have that as a fighter, you know. But I think if you want to think about your record, you know, all these things make a difference, you know, to pick good fights, to pick good timing, to have a good training camp. It's great to be able to put on a great fight, but in the end, to get, you know, to where you want to be, the belt, you know, you need to put in all the work, and no one cares, you know, like if you have 2 weeks to fight, if you are pregnant or anything, you know, if you're there to fight, then that will be on your record. So it's hard to have like a winning lose and expect like to be to the belt. But I think she has all the potential. She had all the potential in the beginning too. She went up the ring to get to the belt. You know, she's a tough girl. She's dangerous in a lot of different areas. She's experienced, but I think just the fact that she loves to fight so much and she's there and everything can sometimes make the timing that she picks fights maybe not so good. And also too, I think she's kind of, like you said, she's been in there for a long time. She's maybe I think 36 or 37. So I don't know how much you know, desire she has for, like, you know, drive she still has in it, to keep getting, you know, punched in the face and, you know, weight cuts and all those things. So I think maybe that might be taking a little bit feeling, you know, just to be so consistent and, you know, have to keep pushing through it all the time. But she's definitely dangerous, and I know she's gonna be a good test for me for sure.
On paper, I think this is a fun action fight. I think it's going to be a fun match. But what do you think?
I agree with you. I think it's gonna be. That's why I trained so hard for this fight. You know, this is the most I ever trained for a fight. You know, I really took this fight so serious. I always try to take my fight serious, you know, but I think my focus before I was pregnant. You know, I had my missed weights. I had like you know, after I finished the fight, I go to vacation. And this, no, it's like kind of, and also with the corona, you know, everything was closed, so kind of helped me just to came back after Hannah, just went back to the gym, and I said, okay, Randa Marcos, that's the girl. Vegas, everything's set from the beginning, very like organized. I trained like so hard for this because I know she's gonna like. I think if I'm her, I'm gonna try to go the 3 rounds. I see that she goes 3 rounds a lot. She has a lot of heart. So, and now that I'm at this whole new level of a fighter, you know, I'm definitely not shying away from the fight. So I'm gonna definitely put pressure for it, and I think she'll put pressure for it too. So I think the fans are gonna be really liking this fight, and it's great to be on the card. You know, Tyrone Woodley, Colby Covington. You know, it's gonna be a lot of great fights. So we have a lot of high standards to show the girls like on this card.
Thank you, Mackenzie, and good luck on your matchup.
Thank you so much.